Hello. I'm just finishing up my shake for lunch. It's so much healthier for us to do vegetables and fruits, right? And it's really good, really tasty. This one is cherries with coconut water in there. No sugar, no milk. And it's pretty fulfilling and it helps our digestion. So that's what I did today. Well, I try to do it every day. Sometimes I can't though, it just depends on the week and how it's gone and money situation and blah blah blah, all that, right? This is my sweet little Becca. Her sleeping. She's such a good baby. What you been up to here lately? Yes, I know things have been pretty hard, I think, for everybody. We just got to find a way to get through what we got to go through, right? Oh my goodness, for me it's been a pretty rough one, and sometimes it's so hard for me to pull myself back out of the rut. I do my best, but it seems like the older I get, the harder it gets on me. I think back, I look back on things, how things were so different back when I was around 20 and 30, 40 and 50. Every section had its own ups and downs, and I think we find that for everything. I know I used to think, well, I know everybody's gonna pass away at one point or another, but I never really thought about it. I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna live forever. Something caught my eye outside. I'm just gonna live forever. This is life, this is me. But in the back of my mind, I always knew that I wasn't going to. But even when I think about it, I think, you know, I'm just going to live forever. I'm going to be here. It's not going to end. And in a way, it's not, right? Because our soul travels on. It's just kind of weird, the thinking that I get in my head sometimes. But I hope things are good for you. And I hope you have good thoughts in your mind. If not, stop them in their tracks right there and bring some good thoughts in your mind. For me, it's hard to do sometimes, but you really do have to remind yourself to do that. Because if we think too many bad thoughts, sometimes that brings those things to us. And our thoughts are very strong and have a lot of power in them. So even if it's something that's not true, manifest it in your life. And that's hard to do, because I know when you're coming from very low income, coming from health problems, there's all kinds of things that we have to go through no matter what our life is. But our thoughts can definitely help, and can definitely help manifest things and situations that help us through. And then sometimes we're meant to go through those things so that we can help others through something that they're going through that's very similar. And sometimes you're their only way that helps them through that, because something you've been through and a way that you have found through it will help them, something that they never thought about. Well, that's a lot of talking, isn't it? Yeah. But we're going to go in here and straighten some things on the shelves. Well, come on, and we'll go this way. I always get things out of place, or sometimes I want to rearrange things. I used to be able to rearrange furniture in my home all the time. I would rearrange maybe once a month or once every 3 months. I just got tired of the same old stagnation. And it seems like that's what we go through a lot these days. It's just a lot of stagnation. And we have to remember to get ourselves out of that. So just find a way to change up a little something where you live, or move a little bit of something around. And sometimes we're just caught in a rut where we can't really move stuff around because maybe we have so much, or we've collected so much. So that's when I will just change it from spot to spot in the room. Just a little something to change what I'm looking at, change where something is. Some of us don't like change, which that's okay too. Some of us like everything to stay in a certain place. And that doesn't really cause stagnation. I think what does is the way we think a lot of times. sometimes we get into a frame of mind that stagnates our life. Does that make sense? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but I like to get myself out just by moving things around. Even if it's just, move this to down here, move part of that over there, move, move pictures from one wall to the other, something like that. Maybe change candle positions around. I don't know, I just try to think of different things that are just gonna kind of bring a little bit of something different into my life. Yes, and these babies and you definitely help me in situations when I've been feeling maybe exhausted and tired. It's so nice to be able to come and talk to you on here. I know that's been my problem here lately. I've just been so wore out. Just like maybe, I don't know, like I've been put through the ringer, and we all feel that way sometimes. We just feel like our life is a vicious. So that's when we need to slow down and find a way to slow down sometimes. Like I said, even if it's just reading a nice, easy read story, if it's a bubble bath, if it's lighting candles, or maybe make something special that's tasty for you, maybe have an extra glass of tea or hot tea or coffee, talking to your friend. If you don't have friends, then you have the community. Maybe you can express yourself on our community. I know some people have bad experiences sometimes through our community, but you know what? That's everywhere, I think. We have to step out of that for ourselves. Find the one or two people that will be considerate, compassionate to what you need to talk about. And it's hard to find, but you know what? You're never going to find it if you don't try. If we're unlucky and we find the people who are going to stab us in the back, well, we just cross them out and go on to the next example of a person. It just takes a time. It takes work. Anything that is, what would you say? Anything that is, there's a word I'm looking for. Anything that, maybe good. Anything that is good takes work. It's things are not meant to always be easy. Sometimes we've just got to work at it, and that's our growth. And that's what keeps things worth hanging on to, because we've had to work at it. Does that make sense? Yeah. Sometimes that's hard to think about. Sometimes it's hard to remember. But anyway, my little one's just still sleeping so good. And I think it's time to go lay her down, because some of my other babies, I can hear her starting to wake up. And I've got them on schedule. They each one wake up at a time that they're hungry or a time that they need to be changed. And so it's really nice to get your babies on a schedule, and that way you can balance your time out between each one of them. And that's what we've learned to do here. So anyway, I'll talk to you soon, and I'm so glad you stopped by for a chat. I send out my love and my light to you, and hope that things get spiffy and get so much better. I'll talk to you soon. Love you. Bye-bye.